Let us pay homage to Wallace Farad Muhammad, better yet known as Master Farad Muhammad, born February 26, 1877. Born in 1877, February 26, designed to resurrect a lost family member, a lost tribe of what he referred to as the tribe of Shabazz, whom was enslaved by European Caucasian people, whom he classified as a race of devils, who were designed to be destroyed. When Mr. Muhammad first appeared, he appeared and went by the alias W.D. Farad. The Muhammad was not added yet. This change will not take place until he gained the trust and leadership of the said Nation of Islam. Mr. W.D. Farad would first go door to door, displaying himself as a silk peddler, selling silks, teaching the original people in America about their brothers in the East, and telling them about who the Caucasian really was and who they really were. And after gaining favor of the original people in America, they began to follow him. They began to meet in people's house, and have certain meetings where they would talk, where he would talk to them about the history of the two races, the so-called black and so-called white race. This type of teaching intrigued the original people in America. They began to gather amongst him. They began to believe in him. They began to trust in him. For he that appeared as a white man, yet claimed that he was not Caucasian, claimed that his father was an original man of Arabian descent, of what I believe was of Moorish descent, and his mother a Caucasian woman. And according to John Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's brother, he claims that they were sitting at the table. They used to sit down at the table and eat dinner together. And he says that Farad told him that he used to knock his coffee off the table on purpose so that his mother could clean it up because she was a devil. This is what John Muhammad said, Elijah Muhammad's blood brother. Now, after Mr. Farad had gained the trust of the original people in North America on what he called the wilderness of North America, they began to call him prophet. But a few of them noticed that there was something very special about Mr. Farad. They noticed that he could answer their questions before they could even ask. So this proved that he was highly telepathic. John Muhammad claimed that when they were sitting at the dinner table, Farad would always answer his questions on certain occasions before he could even say what he wanted to say. He was answering answering his question. So there's many accounts of even his secretaries claiming the same things. There was this one account of a mysterious, I would say mysterious account that occurred because Wallace Farad was not even present. And this is coming from the secretary that was there with Master Farad, an actual witness. She personally knew Wallace Farad. She said that there were two girls that was making fun of another girl because of how tall she was. She says that the next day Farad came in and talked to one of the girls and told her that making fun of people for their height was not tolerated. No one even told Farad about the incident, but some kind of way he knew about it, according to the secretary. Also, when Mr. Farad Muhammad would be up teaching, he would have a glass of water, and he would call some of the members to the front and let them look in it and ask them who did they want to see. And in the water itself, he would make faces appear of people that they wanted to see. So they would say, I want to see what Musa looked like. And he would project some type of image in the water, and the face would appear. So he was, in my eyes, he was a Sufi master. He was a ascended master, and he was something like a king looking for a throne. Well, once he had made himself known in 1930, sometime in July, the word began to spread, and a little man by the name of Elijah Poole got wind of it, and he went to the houses of those that held the meetings with Wallace Farad, and this Elijah Poole had taken a liking to. And from there, Elijah knew, based off instinct that something was different about the man, Wallace Farad. He knew that deep down inside, this was the one that the world had been longing for. He knew by the way he talked. And a lot of the people, according to the secretaries, they said that if Wallace himself, because some people say, well, how did he sound? The secretaries claimed that he had a very soft-spoken tone, and he spoke with a very heavy accent. And it was hard sometimes for them to understand what he was saying. Now, Farad first appeared in Black Bottom, Detroit, in the slums. And also in the Bible it says that in the book of Revelations that God shall dwell in the slums, meaning the ghettos, for 3 days and 3 nights. Now we know that 3 days and 3 nights could mean a year to the Lord, 1,000 years, blah, blah, blah. But we know that Farad only stayed for 3.5 years amongst Elijah Muhammad. Now, Elijah Poole at first, his name was changed by Farad Muhammad to Elijah Kareem. Okay? But Farad changed it from Kareem to Muhammad after he made him his supreme minister. And a lot of people began to get jealous because they felt that Elijah wasn't that articulate with speech. And a lot of them, and even Elijah's brother, Kalat, according to the messenger Elijah Muhammad, began to get jealous. Now, according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, one day, Kalat tried to harm him. And because of this, Farad Muhammad, according to Kalat, paralyzed him where he couldn't move. Now, a lot of people at that time assumed that Farad Muhammad was performing some type of voodoo cult, as y'all witnessed already in some of the pictures. Okay? Now a bond formed up between Elijah Muhammad and Master Farad Muhammad to where they would become roommates for like 3 years. And Farad Muhammad would teach Elijah Muhammad day and night. Sometimes they would stay up till the sun would come up. And this caused so much jealousy to the point to where Farad Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad was on the run for their lives. Where Elijah claims that he would go state to state trying to avert attempts on his life. There was even one situation where they all got arrested, Elijah, including Farad Muhammad. And Elijah saw Farad Muhammad locked up. And Elijah says to Farad, what are you doing in there? He said, this is an example, Elijah. This is the price that you're going to pay for trying to free your people. Are you ready? Are you willing to do this? And Elijah said, yes, I am. So these are the prices that they paid for us to have the knowledge that we have today in the beginning of our awakening stages. Now, Elijah was very curious of this Arabian man by the name of Master Farad Muhammad, who later became Master Farad Muhammad. Now, Elijah would room with him, and back in those days, they had keyholes. And Elijah would come out of his room and peep inside of Wallace Farad Muhammad's door through the keyhole and try to see could he catch him sleeping, because he noticed that Farad never was caught sleeping. He would never catch him sleeping. So one day he was peeping through his peephole, and Farad Muhammad was standing by a dresser with a mirror on it. And Elijah noticed that Farad Muhammad was looking in the mirror, looking at him through the peephole. So this kind of creeped him out a little bit. So Elijah came with the mindset that this was God in person. He knew it. After they had shook hands the first time and he met him. But this gave him even more clarification that this was God in person. And after asking Wallace Farad who he was, he said that he was the Son of Man that the world had been waiting for. He was the one. And he told Elijah Muhammad to keep that to himself. Don't stay away from that type of teaching while I'm present. But you can do that when I'm gone. So after Farad left, Elijah started teaching that was God in person, or Allah in person. But as for the other members, they still referred to Farad as Prophet Farad. And Elijah told them that language is no more needed. We should call him Allah in person, or Master Farad Muhammad. Now, according to the secretaries, a lot of people say, where did these pictures come from? Well, according to the secretaries, that was passed to that was passed down to their children. The children were saying that, the secretaries at the time of the presence of Farad Muhammad, they asked for pictures of him. So he went to a gallery close by one of the mosques in Black Bottom, Detroit, and had them taken. So this is where these images come from, specifically this one, where he's holding the Holy Quran in his hand. But there was like 10 of them actually that was given to the original members during the foundation of the Nation of Islam. Much of I can say about Master Farad Muhammad, but time will not permit it. So I'm going to come to a close. But before I do, I'm going to tell y'all about an experience that I've had, in which I believe that I, myself, met Master Farad Muhammad. Now, one day, I was at a fair. This was at nighttime. Had to use the restroom. Had to take a leak. Went in the restroom. I know this is going to sound crazy. I don't give a shit how you feel. Let me just tell you my experience, of whom I thought it was, based off the reaction. I was washing my hands. There was a guy standing beside me. Couldn't have been no more than about 5'6", 5'7". And at this time, I had a longing to see Farad Muhammad, or at least to meet him, whether in my dream state, in person, just on the astral plane through out-of-body experience. And I remember reading where Sister Clara Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's wife, said that when she saw him, he just looked like a dirty white man. He had like a reddish type of tint to him, where you could tell if you look at him, he was mixed. Now, when I saw this guy in the restroom, I'm washing my hands, he's washing his hand. I speak to him, I say, how you doing, man? All I heard was, He just mumbled. He didn't even say nothing, so I couldn't get his voice. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, dang, this dude look like Farad Muhammad. And when I thought that, he looked at me like, what? Like, how the hell he know this? How is he? Who is he? He looked at me because his eyes got wide. Then he walked out the bathroom fast like. So I come out the bathroom behind him. I literally probably came out the bathroom maybe like 3 seconds behind him. No more than 5 seconds. This is no lie, y'all. I remember I was looking him up and down. He had dress shoes on. Remember them dress shoes? As soon as I came out, this dude was running so damn fast. I mean, he was like probably about 40 yards ahead of me, moving through the crowd. There was a lot of people out there, but I could see him moving through the crowd, like weaving through the crowd, like going through people. He took off running. I don't know why. Maybe he didn't want to be revealed, but personally, I still believe that was Master Farad Muhammad that I met in the bathroom, out of all the places. Now, I know that sounds strange. I know that sounds weird, but hell, I'm telling you my experience. Anyway, hope y'all like this video. Until next time, may the force be with you.